Our reading today is an excerpt from Maybe, Maybe Not by Robert Fulghum. When I taught philosophy, I began the course by walking into the room after the students were seated and announcing, "We're going to play musical chairs. Please arrange your chairs and get ready to play." No student ever asked why. No student ever asked how to play. The students enthusiastically arranged the chairs in a line with the seats alternating directions, then stood encircling the row of chairs. All I had to do was punch up the tape machine, and the students marched around the chairs. Mind you, these were seniors in high school. They hadn't played musical chairs since second grade. But they still knew how and jumped into the game without hesitation. Musical chairs, all right. After removing a few chairs, I stopped the music. There was a mad scramble for the remaining chairs. Those without chairs were stunned. They knew how this game worked. Music stops, get a chair. How could they not have a chair so soon? They had, "How dumb can I be?" written on their faces. Too bad. They were losers. Out over against the wall. Only a game. Music continues. Students march around. Chair removed. Stop. Students go crazy trying to get a chair this time. As the game goes on, the quest for chairs turns serious, then rough. Girls are not going to fight jocks for chairs. Losers to the wall. Down to 2 members of the wrestling team who are willing to push, knee, kick, or a bite to be the last person in a chair. This is war. Stop! And by jerking the chair out from under his opponent, one guy slams down into the last chair, a look of triumph on his face, hands raised high with 4 fingers signaling, "Number one, number one." This last student in the last chair always acted as if the class admired him and his accomplishment. He got the chair. I'm a winner. Wrong. Those losers lined up against the wall thought he was a jerk. Admiration? Hardly. Contempt is what they felt. This was not a game. Games were supposed to be fun. This got too serious too fast, like high school life and real life. Did they want to play again? Few of the jocks did, but not the rest of the class. I insisted. Play one more time, with one rule change. Musical chairs as before, but this time, if you don't have a chair, sit down on someone's lap. Everybody stays in the game. It's only a matter of where you sit. The students are thinking, "Oh, okay." Chairs are reset. Students stand ready. Music starts and they march. Chairs are removed. Stop. There's a pause in the action. The students are really thinking it over now. Do I want a chair to myself? Do I want to sit on someone's lap or have someone sit in mine? And who? The class gets seated, but the mood has changed. There is laughter, giggling. When the game begins again, there is a change of pace. Who's in a hurry? When the number of chairs is sufficiently reduced to force 2 to a chair, a dimension of grace enters as the role of sittee or sitter is clarified. "Oh no, please, after you." Some advanced planning is evident as the opportunity to sit in the lap of a particular person is anticipated. As the game continues and more people must share one chair, a kind of gymnastic dance develops. It becomes a group accomplishment to get everybody branched out onto knees. Students with organizational skills come to the fore. It's a people puzzle to solve now. Big people on the bottom first. Put your arms around him. Sit back. Easy, easy. When there is one chair left, the class laughs and shouts in delight as they all manage to use one chair for support. Now they know the weight can be evenly distributed. Almost always, if they tumbled over, they'd get up and try again until everyone was sitting down. A triumphant moment for all, teacher included. The only person who had a hard time with this paradigm shift was the guy who won the first time under the old rules. He lost his bearings, didn't know what winning was now. As a final step in this process, I would tell the class we would push on one more round. The music will play, you will march, and I will take away the last chair. When the music stops, you will all sit down in a lap. Can't be done, they say. Yes, it can, say I. So once more they marched and stopped. What now? Everyone stand in a perfect circle. Turn sideways in place as if you were going to walk together in a circle. Take a single step into the middle so as to have a tight circle now with each person in the group belly side to backside with the person ahead of them. Place your hands on the hips of the person in front of you. On the count of 3, very carefully guide the person onto your knees at the same time that you very carefully sit down on the knees of the person behind you. Ready? 1, 2, 3, sit. They all sat. No chair. I have played this game, the chair game, in this way with many different groups of many ages in varied settings. The experience is always the same. It's a problem of sharing diminishing resources. This really isn't kid stuff, and the questions raised by musical chairs are always the same. Is it always to be a winners, losers world, or can we keep everyone in the game? Do we still have what it takes to find a better way?
When I was in seminary, Fulgham came and made a visit among us for a couple weeks. This book was in the step of being published. He provided every student a manuscript and said, "Give me comments," and so we did. And I can tell you, as a first-hand participant, he's not making this up. He led us in this, and it works. It's awkward, it's funny, you have to be sort of able-bodied. I'm not going to say anything around that, but it can actually work. And the questions that he poses that Ben ably shared, is it always to be a winners-losers world, or can we keep everyone in the game? And do we still have what it takes to find a better way? Those are questions that loom large, and that last one specifically we'll come back to shortly. Yesterday was not a good day. And it won't surprise you to know that I'm not just talking about what happened at Levi's Stadium last night. Yesterday morning, a Saturday morning, I woke up at my leisure, and after a while, our dog Watson dragged me out for our first walk of the day. Up the hill, we found this rainbow. Patrick, do we have the picture? Maybe, maybe not.
We do.
Yeah, we found a rainbow.
Slightly out of order.
All right. Give us a minute. There we go. 8:15 in the morning, we found this rainbow. I marveled at that the colors were so clear and distinct. Took me a while to settle the dog so I could actually take a picture with my phone. This was a great start to the day. All right, Patrick, we can take the picture down. But when I got back home, my wife Ann asked me if I had heard the news about Maduro. What? We went into Venezuela and got Maduro. What? Turn on CNN. Yes, sir, Mr. Husband, sir. She even saluted me before turning on the TV. That was a first. Now, I make my wife Ann's coffee every morning. Yesterday, well, we took in the news and then Trump's press conference. I cook extra care to make it just the way she likes it. Soon, Trump and I'm going to share what I wrote last night. I want to say these are my opinions in the moment. These do not represent the opinions of this congregation or need to represent anybody else's thoughts and opinions. If you completely disagree with me, that is absolutely fine. We will work it out. Soon, Trump and his puppets were talking about what had happened since we all turned in the night before. Oh, hell. Here we go. Our president, the Mad King, or how I refer to him when I am particularly angered by his latest stunt, Agent Orange, now has more reason to call himself a war president, once again running roughshod over the rule of law, or the supposed importance of legal custom. His press conference, especially when Hegseth and the Joint Chiefs of the felt like I was needing to take, how do I put this? I've not used this phrase before. It felt like I was being doused in a testosterone shower. And the day had started so well. It will still take some time for the dust to settle. There will be more information on casualties, both from Venezuela and on our side. I've seen some early pictures. There's more, I'm sure, going to be broadcast this morning that I just haven't gotten around to yet. And in time, we will learn just how boldly our government moves to plant our flag in Venezuela's oil fields. Everything I have learned about Nicolas Maduro makes it clear he's not someone I would invite over for lunch. And still, everything I've read about the man and what's going on in the drug world in Venezuela casts disbelief on how closely he is tied to Venezuela's modest, at worst, drug trade. Our country's history in Central and South America is, well, horrific and even despotic. In fact, I've been reminded that the hooded thugs contracted by our government's Homeland Security are exactly the type several of our administrations have outsourced to many, many places across the world over the last many decades. We're just seeing them among us now, but this is not a new policy. It's just that we're bringing it inside where we had only exported it before. Trump is continuing to play by Russian President Putin's playbook, that of claiming a sphere of influence. After the Balkans and other former members of the USSR went their own way, Putin wrote a position piece on the importance and extent of the former motherland, and has since gone after Crimea and now the rest of Ukraine to start moving in the direction of consolidation, his longed-for legacy. Closer to home, Trump's threats to annex the natural resources of Canada and Greenland garnered more resistance than he might have anticipated. So where can our commander-in-chief go to help his cronies make more dollars? Well, Venezuela has been in a bad way for a while and has oil deposits that can be monetized. Do the math, my friends. As Trump said in the news conference yesterday morning, we're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And if you believe that that money those companies will make will stay in Venezuela, well, good luck to you. Only no. It's that gullibility that got us into this mess in the first place. And a mess it is. While Trump is right that Venezuela's recent oil production was much less than it might have been, guess what country, you may know this, I didn't until yesterday, guess what country had been purchasing most of Venezuela's oil? China. You knew, I just learned this. Sphere of influence. This is going to get more interesting, isn't it, my friends? the secret in that old tale from Northern Europe about the emperor's clothes is not just that the youngster had the gumption to speak truth to power, it's that others respected the truth when it was made clear. Will we do the same? Will enough of us do the same now? Because, my friends, the emperor has no clothes. To return to the words I shared with you earlier, breathe, said the wind. How can I breathe at a time like this when the air is full of smoke of burning tires, burning lives? Just breathe, the wind insisted. Easy for you to say, if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air. I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. Don't tell me to be calm when there's so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair. I didn't say to be calm, said the wind. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make this hurricane together. To return to that question that Ben offered us earlier, do we still have what it takes to find a better way? We had better, and I certainly hope so. I remember when the first email went out on our Justice and Peace Action Team chat yesterday about the March witness in San Francisco at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and then later down at Castro Valley Peace Corner at 3:30. And I remember the day before, I had been to church for the first time since Christmas Eve that Friday, 2 days ago now, for a grief group that afternoon. It was the first time I was public since coming down with this damn bug, and it was all I could do to make it through the grief group. So I said, I'm not up for marching today, but I'm going to preach it tomorrow. We need to be part of a hurricane right now. We need to be among those who, in whatever capacity, are willing to speak the truth to power. Our tax dollars were used to kidnap a head of state yesterday. What's going to prevent Iran or France or Britain or Canada or Mexico doing the same to us? After all, our commander-in-chief is a convicted felon, right? Who we have not brought to justice, right? When we discard the rule of law, everything is off the table, and we are all in jeopardy. That means nonviolent protest. That means letters to the editor. That means letters to our representatives. This is not okay, and I need to have stronger words than just, it's not okay. We need to be part of this together. So let's take some deep breaths right now, my friends. Let's figure out where the truth lies. It's going to take all that we have to create the hurricane we need right now. So may it be.